Hi, good evening, my dear friends. Welcome once again to discover and uncover the gems in us tonight. Today is a fantastic show, definitely because I have invited two awesome, fantastic speakers to be on board of our show, and I shall introduce them shortly. Now, welcome back, friends, supporters, viewers throughout the world and around Malaysia and around the region. We took a break last week, and now today, 12th of November, we are back of this awesome 1 hour of sharing of the musketeers. Yeah, in knowing certain area of business coaching, entrepreneurship. So tonight we will have some good insight through some conversations that I will spearhead, and of course engaging our from our both speakers. So audience viewers, feel free to put your questions into the chat box as usual. Feel free to even personally PM me as usual to my mobile number. Personally PM me, and I shall address some of your questions and interesting perspective that you like to know, that you like to share among our audience as well as from our speakers tonight. Now, ladies, gentlemen, yeah, we have got two awesome gentlemen tonight invited us to be with us tonight. Yeah, let me introduce Dato James. Yeah, Dato James, who has been always reputable, yeah, and credible man in the industry of business coaching and entrepreneurship. And I will let him do his introduction about what he do and how kind of added value tips that he can help everyone tonight to be better entrepreneurs and also to develop ourselves in the industry to be better professionals as well. And of course, we have Professor Michael O. Prof. Mike is also a fantastic friend that I've got to know him many years ago in through some of the associations that we were working on together. So let me introduce our two gentlemen, Dato James Wu and also Professor Michael O. Gentlemen, on screen. Hi, good evening, Dato. Good evening, Professor. How
Good
are
evening.
you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, thank you, Dato James. Thank you, Professor. I know both of you are busy gentlemen. Lots of schedule would be all tied up with so many commitments and responsibility that you got to oversee. And tonight, humbly, you come to the show and you are able to gladly share some of the insights to our audience and friends around the world in this 1 hour show. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dato. Thank you very much, Professor. Well, gentlemen, how has life been, man?
Michael, you want to go
Okay,
first?
How is
I'm doing
life,
very
Michael?
well. But first of all, we want to thank you for inviting us to your great show, Dr. Chim. We salute your success, great success in your show.
Thank you for the support of our friends and our very encouraging people, partners, and stakeholders. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Uh, of course, I last met both of you gentlemen. Let's say, Professor Mike, or I met you last year in one of the awards events in town. Yeah, in Majestic Hotel. I think Grand Laureate Awards night. And then
Yes,
Dato Jutsu, we last have coffee in Empire Subang, oh, at Starbucks, if I'm not mistaken.
That's true. That's some time back. Some time back.
Yeah, that would be some time back. But thank you, gentlemen. I also keep on receiving messages, especially from Dato James, encouraging weekends quotations and things that really motivates entrepreneurs and people in the industry. Thank you for keeping on engaging everyone. And now, gentlemen, in view of today, we are still in this extended CMCO kind of COVID mitigation, empowered by the government to continue until 6th of December. So, gentlemen, both of you are in the business world. So, I think a lot of our viewers also wants to have some clarity in mind and also to see how both of your experiences are combined, Professor and Dato, tonight easily will be about 100 years. Okay, 100 years of input and experiences. So maybe for a start, Dato James, tonight you are nicely caught with jacket. So tell us a bit about yourself. I know a lot of people see your handsome picture in Facebook and all your advertisements. So people also ask me, who is Dato James? So friend, come share with us a bit of your background and what do you do, Dato?
Hey, so just want to say a big shout out. Thank you, Dr. Timothy, for making this happen. I run my own show every Wednesday, and I
Yes,
know it's not easy. Okay, it's definitely not easy. And to actually put it up, it looks like just two, three people talking, but behind the scenes, there are a lot of rehearsals, a lot of practice, a lot of tech, just to make sure that it looks well, it runs well, and also people enjoy the conversation. So I think I want to say a big shout out, big thank you to Timothy and a lot of people behind the scenes right now, right? Like David is doing all the magical work behind. I'll say a
yes,
big thank you to David as well and the team. So
yes.
that's the first thing. I think the second thing is a little bit about me. I think if you want to know more about me, is just go to my LinkedIn page. Go to Dato James Foo. Most information are there. But probably I want to say something that probably people don't know, right? Is that I am actually an introvert. Okay, I do not enjoy very much on the whole limelight or the outgoingness. I actually like my peace and quiet. I also like the fact that people do not know me when I go to the mama. Okay, if I can now, cannot now, right? So I enjoy that, but now it's getting harder and harder because I feel right now people are not focusing on their clients anymore. A lot of people are focusing on themselves. Like, how can I get through this pandemic? A lot of
Yes,
fear, a lot of frustration, a lot of
yes.
nightmares, if you will. So I think I want to share a little bit of things before I want to hear Professor to say. But I think right now, for your listeners, is that now more than ever, you need to differentiate yourself from what you're doing in the marketplace. So I'm not going against any theory, but I want to say there's a big difference between building a brand and building an authority in your space. A lot of
Yes.
people know how to build a brand, okay, but very few people know how to build an authority in a space. So I want to give you a couple of definitions that I came up with, and hopefully they can help you out in terms of positioning yourself moving forward. So I think first thing, when it comes to branding, people become very impressed by you, the way you dress, the way you talk. That's more of branding. But when it's authority building, right? People like Professor, people are inspired by you. They're
Right,
not impressed, but inspired by you.
right.
When it comes to branding, you are just one of the options. Okay.
Mhm.
But when it comes to authority building, you are the only option. Just like if you had really had money, honestly speaking, you would and you want to buy a handphone, right? If you really, really want, you just buy an iPhone straight away because all handphones actually is a rectangle with no buttons, right? But once you hold an Apple, it kind of gives you that authority, like you know what, I'm a renegade. I know I'm part of the tribe. So you become the only option. The
Right.
third thing when it comes to branding is that you are well known. People know you. You say Dr. Tim, everybody knows Dr. Tim, you see. But it's like Professor, right? When he's an authority in a space, he's respected. When you say Professor Michael, I say, oh yes. Right? We also salute him, right? So the next area when it comes to personal branding or branding as a whole is you are one of the, if I want to be successful, right? I think I want to be like him. I want
Awesome.
to be
Yeah.
like him. Yeah. And then when it comes to authority building, you are the benchmark for success. I don't want to be like him. You are the level of success. So when people say that, when your company names become like a verb, like, do you Google stuff? Do you use Colgate? And then all the words that people come and use it, right? And the last but not least is that people who are in the whole branding space, they like to seek attention. Like,
Mhm.
hear me, me. It's all about me. But when you're authority, right, you are then the market leader, or what we call is a category champion. So when people want to listen to what Dr. Tim had to say, right, so he's the authority in the space, and you want to hear what are all the gems that he have and who he actually can invite. It's not so easy to invite Professor. He's so busy, right? And Dr. Tim yourself is so busy. How can you invite so many people? So yeah, that's about a bit about what's the difference between a branding versus authority building. Back to you.
Awesome, awesome. Wow. We will explore more, Dato, about what are the areas that you can give some extra tips on this
Sure.
to fill up the space of this awesome thoughts and perspective to be an authority in our own spectrum. Okay, Prof. Michael, what about yourself? Yeah. share with our audience a bit about your fantastic background and what do you do currently? Would you be retired, or I think I heard that you have been awarded an adjunct professorship? Is it, Professor?
Yes, thank you very much. Firstly, I do not believe there's such an English word called retirement. To me, we, as long as God bless us, intellectually and physically fit, based
Yes.
on our past experiences, we must contribute to society and to the community, and also to the younger generation. That is my philosophy of life. I
Awesome.
started after University of Malaya with double honors in economics and history, and then I was one of the pioneers in the MIDA. Now we call MIDA, and I took over from the British civil servant. And then for 10 years, I was there. I worked directly with the PERMSEC and also with the Minister of Trade, and traveled all over the world with the government, Minister of Trade Industry. And very interestingly, you all will be surprised if you look at me. I've also traveled with our founding father of independence, Tunku Abdul Rahman Al-Haj, Putra Al-Haj. So that is the background in the government. And then after that, I went over to private sector, and I was invited to be the international CEO of the Malayan United Industries group belonging to Tan Sri Koo Kay Peng. And I was posted to be CEO resident, living in London for 4 years, and then after that transferred to be CEO in Hong Kong for 1 year, and after that to be resident CEO in the Philippines for 3 years. So I've been all over the world, and also in between this period with MUI, I was invited to be the chief advisor to the CEO of the New Zealand Insurance Investment Bank, based in Sydney, Australia, to the CEO, resident in Sydney, Australia. So I've been all over the place. And this journey, I give all the glory, honor to God above. God sent me on this journey. And I never thought that this journey can equip me for what I can do post, so-called, a word which I didn't recognize, post-retirement, which I don't recognize. So with that sort of credentials, today, one of my mission is coaching CEOs.
Wow.
Under an American franchise called Vistage International. And I'm blessed to have CEOs from multinational companies, big company, as well as a Malaysian running, like even the GLC, like CEO of Invest KL, and also one of the CEO of the Petronas Group, So that sort of thing is a great blessing. And we can only give our give all the glory, honor to God above. That is what I want to say about what I do. So besides doing the CEO coaching, I also do training in the strategy and corporate governance. I was elected not too long ago, about 1 year ago, to be on the board of the Malaysian Alliance of Corporate Directors. It's a very prestigious Institute of Directors body, and we are the only one in Malaysia recognized to be a member of the Global Network of Director Institute, short form called GNDI. Gandhi, we call it short form. And all over the world, this Institute of Directors in London, Singapore, Hong Kong, in Australia, in Europe, everywhere, they are all members of this institute, and we are the only one. One country can only have one representative body, and we are the representative body for Malaysia. So we feel very honored about that.
Indeed.
So this is what I do. I also do deal making, with my background in what I call investment banking. This is some of the exciting things I do, but I must say that I have to thank the wonderful kind words of my very good friend, Dato James Foo. He humbled himself. He very humble. He said he's an introvert. He and all those things, and I always bump into him in many functions. But for me, I enjoy going to functions because for me, going to function is the opportunity to network with people. Live
Yes.
networking, very important. To promote relationship, to promote business opportunity, all that is through the live networking. So that is, I have to say, that's what the things that I like to do, So, but
Awesome.
I must say, Dato James Wu is not really all that introvert. He is also a extrovert because I see him in a lot of functions, and he is very well known personality. Everybody come to meet him, including me. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Good. Gentlemen, yeah, I believe tonight's show is also one of the pillar of the objectives that my team and I have set out is to discover and uncover the gems in us. Back in earlier this year, I have sort of thought that there are a lot of unique talents in Malaysia, and not many people are aware of their respective uniqueness and talent that they can add value to Malaysia as a country. Yeah. So over time, over the past few months, we have gems that have appeared in our show, and tonight we have gems. James as well as Michael. Michael, how old are you? Actually, mind sharing with us? What's your age?
I think rather than answer your question, I let you what to call
A wild guess.
give me your answer, what you feel. But I gave you a tip already. I gave you a tip already that I have even traveled with Tunku Abdul Rahman. That will give you an indication how many people have traveled with Tunku Abdul Rahman and still around today in this world.
Good one. Good one.
Participate in your show, to participate in your prestigious show.
Yeah. So you will be considered one of the, in terms of maturity in age, of our gems appearing in our show tonight, one of the most respected, matured gem discovered, and to have you share with us. So I will guess you will be something about late 70s, Yamo. Late 70s.
What? Sorry, late
Late
70s.
70s. A wild guess. Late 70s.
Late 70s. But you must look at me personally, at my persona. What is my? Most people say I'm in my 60s, but
Okay.
I think you are what you call, you are getting very close to the right answer. Congratulations, but you still qualify for a Starbucks.
Indeed. I think for our objective is that tonight's show, it's also to promote Global People Exchange Association. So
Yes.
viewers and friends, supporters around the world, tonight is also to introduce Dr. James and Professor Michael, all including myself. We are part of the awesome newly set up association called Global People Exchange. So we have the founder president, Mr. Gay, were on the show, and then Suhu and few other gentlemen. And last month we have Peggy and Jean. So tonight we also want to introduce to the awesome gems, the talents in Global People Exchange. Now, Dato James, in you that you have sort of built up a lot of credibility and authority in Authority Institute. In current market sentiment and economic sentimental values here, what would be some tips to encourage entrepreneurs who sort of really at end of going to give up in business? We hear a lot of news that businesses have closed down since May, and it will keep going on until the next few months down the road to 2021. So what would be some tips to enlighten entrepreneurs, Dato?
Okay, I don't think we have time for tips, but I probably will share one of the biggest things that you need to take a look at. Okay, so right now is it's a question that you want to ask is, is the entire Malaysian market or economy not doing well? So it's a question, yes or no. Is the entire Malaysian market and economy not doing well? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So is it not doing well?
Yeah. Could be
Not true.
viewers feel free to put into the chat. Dato posted a question. In your view, would you say that Malaysian economy is really not doing well or doing well? Yes or no? So viewers, you can put in your response as well. So now, from a business angle, it is there's no right or wrong answer. I would say that it depends on what sectors we are in business.
Exactly.
What
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the question you want to ask yourself is, what business are you in?
Yep.
So yes, the economy may not be good, but what business are you in? Then you answer the question, right? So the second question to ask yourself is, are you positioned in an attractive market or an unattractive market? So a lot of people right now is actually they think is I'm smart, I got well connections, I got resources, I probably got many friends like Professor Michael, I know Dr. Tim, I know a lot of people. But let's be honest here, we are all in the same storm. Yeah, some of us are in better boats, some are in the sampan, but the storm is the same, right? So right now is you need to find yourself, the key word look at is position. You need to identify the right market to play in or to actually do business in. So if your business is not good right now, it's change. So the first thing is, are you in the right market? You need to identify the market and position yourself to be in the right market. Well, of course, people have said, like, you know what, I'm doing a simple business right now. I'll give you a case study of what one of the companies that I mentored. They're one of the second largest health and beauty centers in Malaysia. They have about 60 outlets. Okay, 60 outlets, and you know what? Because of the CMCO, 90% of business dropped because it's all people, ladies, majority going to the shops, outlets, doing the spa treatment, massage, and whatnot, right? But now because it's closed, you can't travel, you can't go there. And even though they come to you, let's say they come to you, would you dare go into a van or a bus to get treatment? Because you won't, right? So what we did was in the mastermind group, what happens is we have what we call a new profit mastermind, and we had about a group of 14 people there. And under the last 73 days, we actually helped this group of people do a revenue of 60 million US. I want to share with you one study of how they did. So these are all brick and mortar companies. And what we did was a simple one. Number one, position your market. So he knows the entire market is wiped out because all the ladies are busy staying at home, right? Although they're promoted to what we call oil and gas sector. All the ladies have been promoted to the oil and gas sector, right? And the men right now will be more picky, right? Too salty, too sweet, don't want to go out and all sorts of issues. So right now, all the ladies are become a bit yellow face, and also they don't get the limelight or going out to do treatments and whatnot. So what we actually brainstormed and helped them did was this. Okay, simple one. Every alternate week, there's what we had was a online face party, online face washing party, and all the ladies alternate Fridays, 9 o'clock will come in, and a celebrity will come in and wash the face together with you. But before that, these ladies will actually buy products from this company. So a box, open the box. This is item number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, you use it first. And last month, I think they did about close to 2 million in sales online. Never before they've done online sales. So first thing first, in your business right now, if you are struggling, if you are surviving, first thing first, look out, are you positioned in the right market? If not, let's figure out a better way. Back to you, Tim.
Excellent. So Dato, would everyone able to qualify to go into your masterminding group for new profits masterminding group? Are there any qualifications to be in part of this masterminding group?
Yeah, actually, we're very strict. We actually invite you. It's not a program you can sign up. So we invite you, then we make sure the right criteria are there. We believe that we can help certain people. We can't help everyone. Let's be honest, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but also that the question is, do you want to be helped? A lot of people, business owners, think that, I've been in business for 40, 50 years. What do you know that I do not know? Right? So if these kind of people, we don't want to work with them. We want to work with people who really want to grow, who really want to scale their business to the next level. So that's why one of our taglines in Authority Institute is, our business is to scale yours. So once you position your right market, because there is always a way to position. Of course,
Wow.
I'll be honest here, there are some business that cannot position. Then it's time to, like a hand of poker, you want to fold it. Like I have a chain of hotels. I'm in the resort business. I know it's tough. It's very hard to actually pivot or move right now, apart from just doing a lot of online content. But what else can you do? Right? So, but I want to hear what Professor to say, but back to you, Tim.
Yes, let's hear. Thank you, Dato James. Let's hear from our Professor Mike. As you're also coaching and the listener for many CEOs. What would your feedback is, Professor? If you come across CEOs that really come to a point of total demotivated due to this pandemic saga, and they tell you, no, coach, I think I just want to call it a day. What's your input, Prof?
Okay, for me, I think that people have to be innovative and have to think out of the box. Very important. I give you a good example. In the hotel industry, for example, now the hotels are promoting that you can work from home or work from hotel. WFH. Instead of saying work from home, WFH, it means you can also use the hotel to work, because people get a bit bored and tired of all the time working from home. Mm-hmm. So the hotel can be used as their office. So now the hotel, which a 5-star hotel, instead of charging the normal rate of 1,000 over per night, they only bring down the rate to only 280 or 200 over. Mm-hmm. This is the what I call things that they think of. And the other one, of course, is what are the chefs doing in the hotel? They have nothing to do now. So the hotels are also asking them to create the dishes and make it as a takeaway, delivered to your doorstep by their staff.
Yes.
At a fraction of the price. So these are the innovative thinking of people, how to generate the revenue to sustain the business, as well as to continue to provide employment for their employees. So this is the things that are happening in the marketplace. Of course, certain incentives by the government do help to what I call companies. Incentives to give them help for their employees, salaries, and all sort of things, So this also help. That's important. Many of the SME associations are pushing very hard the government to provide the right package of incentives for their members who are struggling. This is how I see it. And the key thing is never give up. Think of innovative ways. Never give up. Think of innovative ways. Do not be defeated. So now the situation is changing, as you know. What I call the Pfizer company has announced the vaccine coming out. So the world will change. The world will change. And then people are already thinking of organizing conferences and seminars on a mixture, a hybrid mixture, just like a hybrid car, a mixture of live as well as virtual. So events are now actually taking place. I've been to a number of live events now in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel for about 100, 200 people with social distancing and SOP. So there you are, you see.
Right. Yeah, I saw another advertisement a month ago. A 5-star reputable international chain of hotels group, when they also now provide that kind of services of housekeeping. Usually hotel 5-star housekeepers are all well trained, so they are
Yes.
ready to send this group of housekeepers outside to homes, and people pay a fraction of a fee to get them housekeepers doing their role in the respective houses, putting their knowledge and skills into practice. Now I
Yes.
think the word that you sort of mentioned just now is the business sustainability. This
Yes.
is a very crucial element here, where a lot of entrepreneurs and business people really need to think out of the box and really look at things to sustain, to sustain. Now, gentlemen, would you look at it in business sustainability, especially the timing now? We are gearing to year 2021 now. Some people look at business sustainability must be talking about people, processes, projects, profits, or things that will include kind of structural innovation, to make things happen, to materialize things. What would be some important element for entrepreneurs to really focus to sustain in their business? Is it people, or is it processes, or is it profits? What would be your input and your perspective here, gentlemen? Dato, what do you think to help business sustain better?
I think, to be honest, right now, the most important thing is it's none of the three.
None of the
It's
three.
not. It's none of the three. My humble opinion is not even that. But what people really should focus on right now is the real purpose of doing it. Because people
Purpose.
who are in business, people who are in business are only in business to solve a problem. And the bigger problem you solve, the more money you make. Let's be honest here, right? So instead of focusing on the problems you can solve, because there's so many problems right now, even internally, externally. But what we can do as entrepreneurs right now is to focus on a bigger purpose. Then, because even though you focus on the people right now, the people may have their own challenges at home. They work from home or work from hotels. They have their own challenges, right? But if you have a big purpose, people like maybe will be more leaning towards how I can help you achieve this goal. Why I say this? Because people work with people who have bigger certainty. Because
Yes.
when people are lost, when they don't have a clear mind, when they have no clarity, they have no certainty. If there's no certainty, they will not have conviction to act. And once they can't act, there is no hope. You can have a lot of people, you're gone. You have a lot of process. Now it's not even time to focus on process, because all process has gone out the door. Let's be honest, right? It's all out the door. Everything is new. There's a new normal. There's a new business model. There's a lot of new. So you can't depend on your process, because the process are the ones that can help you. But if you have the wrong process, it will hurt you more than help you. So for me personally, is how can you focus on a bigger purpose? Why should people work with you? Why should people buy from you? Why should people want to think about you? Because if your business doesn't have any impact, there's so many competitors out there. Why should I be in business with you? So those are my thoughts. Back to you, Tim.
Fantastic, fantastic. Discover the purpose, of why we are in business. So wow, thank you, thank you. James, really, really insightful. Discover the purpose. What about Professor Michael? What do you think? What's your take on what the perspective should be, for on business sustainability?
Okay, I fully agree with Dr. James Foo. Of course, the key thing is that you must be able to align your employees with you, to believe and share with you that your purpose in business is to be a service to the nation, service to the community. All right, and people understand that service to the community or service to society as a business. All businesses, in order to survive, must have certain element of profitability lah. You cannot be running a business at a loss. It's not a charity. Let's put it this way. That is the real fact of life. So that comes to the issue that you need to look after your people, well in good times as well as in bad times. That means you never know when is the bad time that will come, but you have been enjoying all the good times, so you must also look after them. You see, so I believe that at the end of the day, uh, the people is the most important in an organization, in any organization, to contribute with the owner to the success of the company. So I think this is, of course, companies must be able to adapt and be agile to the environment and the situation in order to be able to sustain. And what this COVID-19 has taught us, taught all businesses, entrepreneurs, and business people, is that they need to, in good times, to conserve their cash flow and their funds in their reserves, because they never know anything that can happen. Any unfortunate things can happen. It's beyond our control. So
Mm.
this is my take on this on this subject.
Right,
Thank you very
right.
much.
Well, good one. Thank you, Prof. Thank you for giving your input as well. There is a layer of need that it has been um, propagated in Malaysia as well. That I see the trend. One is on women entrepreneurship. They need more help to develop women to be stronger leaders and entrepreneurship. And then another layer that always need help is the younger young generation of talents to build them up into strong, capable leaders and entrepreneurs in their respective fields and passion that you want to. So in your experience, Professor, especially now you also represent a local city university as an adjunct professor, right? So what are some of these thoughts for young people? How can young people really um, continue to survive this new normal? My own team of business people, I have about 50 of them, age group between 24 to about 30 years old. They are into business development. So I noticed that younger people nowadays would not be able to tolerate that kind of stress and that kind of tension, or even that kind of firmness to get them to do things. But we got to blend into them and smooth talk them if necessary for them to get something done. How Professor Mike, as a coach, how would you advise business owners, leaders to continue to guide our younger generation? Any tips or not to share with us?
I believe that the key thing is that uh, we must what they call transform them to be passionate in what we are doing, and we understand that we must understand their aspirations and how they feel, because young people nowadays are different from my generation or your generation. They tend to keep impatient and keep on moving from one job to another in order to progress. So an organization must also have avenues for them to progress.
Mhm.
So things like that. So I think this is adaptability to be in line with the aspiration of your younger generation, and also provide avenues for them to be trained and to be coached. Give them opportunities, you know, to attend events and to socialize, to meet with their peers, and uh, have an interchange of information, interchange of ideas is very important. So this is how I look at it. We must not just cage them up in our companies, because they don't appreciate to be to be all the time catch up in their own organization. They need to have the free movement and then to explore. The word is to explore new knowledge, new opportunities, and new interactions with other people of their, especially of their generation. And they can also tap into the experience of people who are older than them. The wise young person will know how to do that. That is how I look at it.
Wow, thank you, thank you. James, what about yourself on female leadership and entrepreneurs being groomed for females to really take on this role to be successful entrepreneurs? James, what's your input?
I think a couple of things. The first thing first is we have to. It's not a women versus men or younger versus old. I think we're all the same. We've seen young people who are very mature. We've also seen quite senior people who are quite immature, right?
Yeah.
So there's no bad men. There's also no bad ladies. So
Yeah.
we want to encourage, if possible. We can't help everyone, but we want to make sure each of us help someone. Like on this show, Jem, we're helping the people who are tuning in right now, right? We're doing our best to help as many people as we think we can. So that's the first thing. The second thing right now is, along with what Professor had to say, was you ask 3 questions. What are the top 3 questions that you, if you are young right now, you want to think about this, is who are you following and why you? So as a leader right now, I want to make sure I have the answer to the question. Why should a young boy or girl follow me? Why? So the first question is, why you? Because we all think of the young people are like a strawberry generation. The word I heard before is they look very good outside, but they're very soft on the inside, right? And then they cannot stand pressure. They want to throw in a towel. They give up easily. Not true. Is that we are not playing on their strength. We're not playing on their strength. It's the Asian mindset of actually, what is your weakness? Let's train your weakness, as opposed to more of a Western culture. As what is your strength? Let's focus on your strength.
Yes.
So first question is, why you? Why should a younger generation follow you? First question. Second question is, where are you bringing me? Where are you bringing me? Because if you don't have a plan, you don't have a purpose of where you're going, the younger generations they are so savvy, tech savvy, they will follow the people they feel can bring them to a higher ground, because they can't stay still, right? And they have a lot of what we call instant gratification. Our generation is of delayed gratification, but theirs is instant gratification. Yeah, it's all about now. You want to buy something, it's buy now. Don't wait for the 11/11 sale. Buy now is, why wait? Tomorrow maybe 11/11 I cannot buy it. I was asking one of my team and say like, hey, boss, this one very good offer, So I said, yeah, let's wait for 11/11. Boss, maybe you want to buy it, click, it's sold out. True also, huh? Yeah. So buy now is cheap. I managed to get the special offer for you. Cheapest in town. Just buy it. And then if 11/11 is cheaper, buy another one. So I said, okay. So are we leveraging on their strength? So first question is, why you as a leader? Why should the young people follow us? Number 2, where are you bringing them? Do you even have a plan? In such a pandemic right now, do you know where you're going? If you have no clue, I assure you, your younger team will also feel it. They're like, are you bringing me to Holland or are you bringing me to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Which one are you bringing me? I'm not sure, right? And the last one is, let's be honest, you can be a great person online, great follower, a lot of like a very famous person, and I sell you the dream, but when I tell you, how are you going to bring me there? And you go, work hard, follow me, trust me. They're not going to follow.
No. Yeah.
No, right? So how are you going to bring me there? What is that journey looking like every step of the way? And then if you can convince me with your certainty, with your purpose, yeah, maybe I will consider you. The reason why a lot of younger generation follow other people is because they found out that actually that leader's purpose, vision is bigger than this current leader.
Yeah.
They jump ship.
They jump.
Of course, the salary is slightly better, but their purpose, their drive, their passion in their whole business is, come on, join me, young man. I will show you how is it done. how I made the millions, or how I'm driving my new car right now. So that's the 3 questions I think right now as leaders we need to ask ourselves. Instead of pointing the finger, it's always a saying, right? When we point at other people, there's always some fingers pointing back at us.
Yeah.
So what questions are we asking ourselves as leaders so that we have better followers? Nowadays, we can't pull people anymore. We can't push them anymore. We have to really attract them. But before we attract, we need to position ourselves so that they come to us already. As simple as that. So those are my thoughts. Back to you, Tim.
Dato, do you conduct this sort of a workshop for entrepreneurs, leaders, of how to get them to have the clarity, how to map up their direction for the team? Do you do that sort of workshop for the market needs?
So a lot of people have asked me to run workshops like this. I don't, but I speak on 3 levels, on a local level, on regional, and a global level. They invite me to share keynotes of 90 minutes to 120 minutes, and then I advise them on what to do. Like a local accelerator like Magic, they invite me to share how to help the local startups. How can they be more, not just think of business, but how can they align social responsibility with business? So can you link purpose with business together? Because everyone can do business. Almost every business today can be copied. It can be copied, right? Even like so many people doing talk shows, but why people want to watch your show, watch the Tim show, right? The Dr. Tim show. Why? Because there must be some attraction. There must be people who are following you and they like you. So, but yeah, the answer is no, I don't. But I get invited to share a lot on the different stages. And I think last week I got invited to share on JB, like what my professor was saying. And they rented a hotel in JB. And I think close to 100 people were there. And then, but I didn't go down. They actually live telecast me there, and they broadcast at the same time.
Wow, awesome.
So how to be creative and actually serve as many markets as possible with it.
Wow, so tonight is really an honor, Dato, to have you share with us your thoughts and your tips and of your valuable perspective. Awesome, Dato. Professor, what about yourself? Where you are adding value, I know, to a lot of corporate people that have been successfully managing and leading organizations to a high success level. What would be your advice for this area of the next generation, or call it succession planning to have another layer of leaders who can bring the organizations even further and greater heights, Professor?
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tim. And I also want to expand on the words of wisdom of our Dato James Foo. Now, of course, now we go through a few things. One is that for the young people, as Dato James Foo has rightly pointed out, the key thing is that they must believe in the leadership of the person. They must believe in that person's leadership in order to follow that leader. Otherwise, they say they have done a survey and found that people do not leave their companies. They leave because of their manager, the immediate superior. You see? So that is the result of a survey that shows this type of thing, So it's the human relationship and the right leadership provided. That's one. The second point is, as rightly pointed out by the founder of LinkedIn, that no one CEO can beat a CEO with a good team under him or her. No one CEO can beat a person with a good team under him or her, because no one person can be a Superman. You cannot you cannot outperform another CEO which has a very important team under him or her. And that comes back to the question of a successful CEO must be able to have a high performance direct report team under them. They must not be frightened of employing people who are even smarter than them to be a great leader. See, a lot of leaders want to employ people who are not so smart as them so that they can order people around or instruct them. But the world is different. Today, a good leader must be a very good questioner. As the famous French philosopher Voltaire says, judge a man by his question and not by his answers. This is very important, you see, because through your powerful questioning, and that's what we practice in our coaching profession, in the corporate and in the business coaching profession, through our powerful questioning, the client will be able to find, discover the journey of their what they want to do by themselves and own the ownership of their answers. And it would be the right answers as well. So
Yes.
you don't feed people. In the past, the leaders seem to feed the people under them, under their leadership. The world has changed. So they come back to the subject of the power of questions more than the power of answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The power
So
of
this is
question.
how I see it. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, thank you, Dato James. Thank you, Professor Michael O, for sharing your input and your perspective. I always believe, talking and asking good questions, yeah, will also give the thoughts to have the clarity for one person to bring us to the next level. I think for Malaysians, we need to really cultivate the culture of to be thinking, to be more of a thinker. I love one quote where Coach Marshall Goldsmith mentioned in his book, what brought us here until today does not necessarily bring us to where we want to achieve. So there's a lot of unlearning, emptying our cups and refill it with so many things that as our hearts needs to open and say, look, I think I need to learn more. I need to change and pivot. I need to be able to adapt to new things in life. That is powerful. Thank you, Dato James, for giving us lots of clarity. Thank you, Professor Michael O, for your valuable experience of sharing here. Now, as time is catching up, it's nearly 10 p.m. Gentlemen, next week, and audience, viewers, next week we will take a break. We will have our show again the following Thursday on 26th of November. We will keep everyone posted on the exciting guests that will be on board. So we are finalizing the guest speaker for 26th of November. And tomorrow, yeah, let me do a little bit of promotion campaign here, if possible. Tomorrow morning at 10 p.m. to 11, tomorrow at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 1 hour in the morning, yeah. There is a session called Roundtable with my good self here, and together with some of our faculty in HR, trainers and coaches. This is organized by Comfori to engage and share ideas as well. How can we improve ourselves as an individual in the faculty of learning training? How can we apply some of these new tools and pivot around with some techniques, yeah, in the business of learning training, as well as the impact to the career as a chosen a field as facilitator, coaches, and trainers. So that's on for tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Friday. And thank you once again for coming to our show, Dato James and Professor Michael O. Yeah, thank you, David, who is our technical producer, who has been supporting us in the whole throughout the past 2 weeks, formulating and getting sure things are running well. Ladies, gentlemen, Dato James also runs a fantastic show called Pit Stop Session, right, Dato James? Every Wednesday night, yeah? Every Wednesday night at 9. What time is it, Dato James?
10.
At 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday. So feel free to connect. Yes, this is our LinkedIn and also Dato James contact. Yeah, if you want to connect to Dato James and also Professor Michael Orr. Yeah, yes, this is Michael's Facebook. Do get connected to them, viewers, friends. If you need some guidance, some encouragement, if not some tips, I believe gentlemen here are all willing to share with you a bit of their insights. Yeah, buy them coffee, of course. Yeah, take them to Starbucks and buy them a nice cup of coffee. And gentlemen here, we sure to be able to add value to lives. Yeah. Well, good. Thank you very much, ladies, gentlemen. We will call it a night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the awesome show for Discover and Uncover the Gems. See you again. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.